You'll know already by now, and if you didn't, you'll have seen it on the title of the video, that Mohammed Kudus to Tottenham is in the process of being done. Although it should be said the club have said it is not 100% done. I would discount that. Well, that's probably true, but that doesn't mean it's not getting done. It probably is 99% done, and the extra percent is going to happen very, very shortly, possibly even whilst we're doing this video. Apparently, a medical is booked in for Kudus to join Tottenham. That might even be as early as tomorrow. Stuff like that. It doesn't really matter. Once you realise that the deal's getting done, it doesn't really matter whether the medical's tomorrow, Friday, and whether some of the small details are incorrect. The big disappointment is that he's going to Tottenham. Well, first of all, let's deal with the facts before we get. Look, everyone's going to be really disappointed about this because this is totally predictable. What's happened here with Daniel Levy is he's done a lowball offer and he's got the deal he wanted. So the club have... It's a weird one, actually, because the club have made a comment, have made a statement about it, and it's not even as if I really felt that they were totally defending themselves. I think the club know it's a bad deal. I really do know it's a bad deal. The club have said it's not 100% done, but they're not great payment terms. Now, to admit that, I'm not surprised. Daniel Levy was always going to do this. So, as I understand it, the not great payment terms is... Like when we sold Declan Rice to Arsenal, and this feels worse, by the way. When we sold Declan Rice to Arsenal, they paid... It was 100 million plus an extra 5 million if certain... They qualify, whatever, they won the Champions League or they won the Premier League. So, let's call it 100 million. 3 payments over 18 months. This is going to be about £50 million paid over 5 years. It's going to be about £10 million a year. I'm pretty confident I won't be too far wrong with that. They've not given the details in the statement that they've made. Said the player has put in a transfer request and they're the only show in town. Basically, late interest from Chelsea never materialised. And if you've been up on the news today, but Noni Madueke is moving from Chelsea to Arsenal, and there was some rumours that maybe Chelsea would come in for Kudus to replace him, but apparently not. As far as West Ham concerned, Tottenham the only show in town. All the money will be used to bring in new players. That's just an appeasement bit at the end. I mean, it may well be true, but it's what that is I think the club know this is a bad deal. I think they probably know they've been done. Probably Daniel Levy knows he's got one over on West Ham, and I think what with the story came out 2 or 3 weeks ago that 75% of the money from Kudus would be given to Graham Potter. I think they knew that was a bad news story, and I think them saying this now is just trying to they're just trying to mitigate the bad news that's been delivered, and this is bad news. The fact that he's put in a transfer request is... We sort of knew that anyway, didn't we? Because it had been revealed. I think it was Romano that revealed a couple of days ago that he only wanted to move to Tottenham. So we knew that this was happening. I think there's a couple of ways to look at this. Both of them are bad, because both of them, the net result is we lose a good player for not enough money, really. And I know Kudus did not have a great season in the last campaign, but everyone at West Ham knows his potential. He can be absolutely brilliant. And many people are to blame, really, because he wasn't, in many respects, he couldn't play in his best position because Jarrod Bowen plays there and he's our number one guy. But you know what? I think Moyes found a way to make it work, didn't he, really? And he was so prolific in Moyes' last season, which was obviously Kudus' first season. And, Lopetegui and Potter just never really found a way to make it work. And it was an odd season. He had a falling out with Lopetegui. He got the ban, ironically, for having handbags with Mickey van der Ven and all of that stuff. This is just gutting. It's very, very disappointing. I think if anyone goes on social media, and if you don't, you're very sensible, but for those of you that do, we'll be aware that the Arsenal fans are constantly saying we underpaid for Declan Rice, and they say, "Oh, give West Ham more money. We've got a £200 million player, not a £100 million player." This feels very different to that, because I think with Declan, it felt like a lot of money. I think we knew for a long time that he wasn't going to sign a new deal. There was a gentleman's agreement between Declan and the club, which they both stuck to. And it didn't feel like... Yes, we were selling Declan Rice, but at the time it didn't feel like we were on the decline because we were still spending big money on players. We were still in Europe, and we were excited about who was going to be brought in. And look, that's part of where the Kudus came from, part of that money. This feels different. This feels like we're selling a player to Tottenham, who, and make no mistake about it, from the moment they lay eyes on him, from the moment that he starts playing, I don't doubt that he'll play very, very well indeed. Particularly, funny enough, under Thomas Frank, who plays, he's going to play a style of football that's probably going to quite suit Kudus. Then we're going to be reminded of that we got done, and West Ham have got done here. And I just wish, for me, the fact that he put in a transfer request is not an excuse. Well, it is an excuse by the very definition. That's the excuse. I just don't accept it. Or I just would have said no. This has been my stance all the way along. My stance all the way along has been that Levy would muck us about, and we had to be prepared to say no. We're not gonna do it. Particularly once it became evident that there was scope within PSR terms for us to put our own money in. That looks like it wasn't that long ago, but it looks like a long time ago now. And we had to be prepared to say, no, you have a buyout clause. The buyout clause is 85 million. If they go and trigger the buyout clause, now they weren't ever going to bid 85 million, which means, no, sorry, at the moment you can't go. Have another good season. And then maybe we do a gentleman's agreement. I don't know. I'm not mad with Kudus, though. And this is the point I made when I did that video with Gio. He's got no... He didn't grow up eating pie and mash in Nathan's. Do you know what I mean? This wasn't... He's not from Hornchurch. He's not gonna... He didn't even speak in a way that... Fun enough, if you listen to how Fornals was speaking, Fornals once said he used to imagine what would have happened if he was growing up in Dagenham and stuff like that. He used to say funny stuff, really, and he used to say... I don't know. You just felt with Fornals that he had very much wedded himself to being a West Ham fan, and he bought into the history of it. This was not Kudus. He's never said any of that stuff. So I don't feel that he's betrayed us, and I feel that he very much joined West Ham for European football, and we haven't given him that. And he can probably see the writing on the wall. The club's on the decline at the moment, and it certainly feels that way. I'd say it's just very, very disappointing. Particularly the destination is incredibly disappointing on this one. Yeah, I mean, I've not said. Listen, I'll catch up on the comments later on. I don't, in many respects, I know what they're going to be. There's not going to be any that are going to surprise me. It's even if you accept that we had to sell before we buy, which I don't, you're still going to be disappointed with this. Why him? Why to them? I guess we are doubled up in that position, so but it's a real shame we couldn't make it work. We're going to have to bring players in. Do you know what? I don't even want to talk about it now. I guess it becomes more realistic. The club have said they'll spend 100% on players. Even if they do, it's not a lot of money. We've been done. We have been done here. Levy has completely got his way. With a low ball offer, paid on the never. It's not even a higher purchase, lower purchase. It's like interest-free instalments. No higher purchase about it. It is a low fee paid in instalments. Terrible. Look, while I've got your attention, before you go, I know you're probably thinking, no, not now, mate. Not now. We're all depressed. Could I please point in the direction of Hammers Chat's Patron? It's a great way for you guys to support Hammers Chat, basically. Allow us to upload videos, allow us to jump down here, do videos tomorrow, do videos earlier on in the day. And we've got loads and loads and loads of good stuff going on over there. And we've got a 7-day free trial. So if you click the link in the description below, or just go onto Google and Hammers Chat, patreon.com/Hammers Chat. That's the one. You can sign up, try your 7-day free trial, have a look, and if you like it, then you can carry on. If you don't like it, then cancel it and don't. But we'd really appreciate you trying, because, well, Because, let's be perfectly honest with you, this is hard enough as it is talking about all this stuff at the moment. But no, seriously, our patrons and our wonderful sponsors and you lovely lot for watching these horrible adverts all the time are the reason that we can carry on and keep on doing this. So we'd very much appreciate it. We've got loads of other content. It's basically like the third Hammers Chat channel. Go and have a look. Loads of competitions, loads of giveaways. In fact, we've got another really, really good shirt today. I'll keep it a secret. I haven't watched Gio's video from earlier. I don't know if he mentioned it. Got another really, really good shirt today, which is going to go on a giveaway as well. Anyway, there you go. Right, I'm going to skedaddle. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. You knew it anyway. I've not told you anything you didn't know. Very disappointing. Hey, we've not even played a fixture this season yet, and it already seems like Tottenham 1, West Ham 0.